Hello, and welcome to another episode of Talks with the Tax Cop. This is wonderful. Let me explain to y'all. Don't look at your face like this, because this is the first week 7, that I actually got it right, y'all. Talks with the Tax Cop is back. We in the building. I'm so glad for you all that are tuning in this week. This podcast episode may go off the rails, but I'm telling you, it's going to be one that you really want to decide that you want to stick to and stay to all the way to the end. This week's guest on my podcast is someone that is dear to my heart, allows me to authentically be myself, who is taking care of my tax credit number 4. She took care of tax credit number 3. She is awesome with children. She can take the parents and put them to the side, but she is totally awesome with the kids and get them to be able to logically think and actually articulate how they're feeling. And so I had to bring her on. It's none other than Mrs. Trishawn Adams from Trishawn's Family Daycare. Y'all stay tuned, listen to this. She gonna drop nuggets for y'all. I already know it's going to be something that will make you all that have kids and are trying to get stuff straight, are working through stuff, looking for somebody who you want to do daycare because you're out of the house and you have to go back because people calling you back in the office, and you want your kids to be in a safe, loving environment where they can thrive. Like, this is the podcast that you're going to want to tune into. So I am forever grateful. She put me to work. I'm her substitute somehow for them thug kids over at TFDC. And
we don't have the kids.
They thug.
They're just street smart. That's all.
They thug kids and can negotiate you out of stuff, and you be like, I don't know how I got here. AKA y'all done seen tax credit number 4 come up in here and just take over the darn podcast. So this is who he learned it from. Some days I am Miss Sean. At night when he not getting his way, he be like, but Miss Sean, I need you to listen. For the longest time, he couldn't get his mama right because for some reason it was all about Miss Sean. But I'm grateful. All 4 of my children have gone to in-home daycare. The 2 oldest ones did go to a center once they got a little bit older, but I 100% live by in-home daycare. When you have to go out of the house and you got to work and you want somebody to love on your kids and raise them the way that you would if you were home, and if that was your ministry to actually deal with your kids all day, then you want to put them in a good at-home daycare. So Trishawn, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, tell the peoples who you are, so we can jump right into this interview.
I don't want to.
Y'all. All the other guests. So this is my 3rd guest. It's Black History Month. This is what happened when you bring people on Black History Month. You try to start it off right in the 2020.
This is what happened.
And the people don't act right.
Okay. I'm Trishawn Adams. The children call me, and some of the parents, Miss Sean. I've been doing home daycare since 2005. I've always been in the school system, always been around children. Children are my calling. So I've worked outside of the home, but mainly my goal is to work around children. I did a little medical, but it was still OB, still related to children and things like that. So I have been operating since 2005, and I love it, and was considering a center, but I think I'll just stay right here. I like that closeness of family. I just like the closeness of family in a smaller group, so you can get more undivided attention from that, provider, the educator. So that's what I do, and I love it.
So what pushed you into entrepreneurship and actually truly doing your own at-home center?
Because I don't like for people to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
She being real. No, but I understand, because a lot of it's funny because
I don't like for you to tell me when I'm going to lunch, because I like to eat. I don't like for you to tell me I can't take off because I'm tired, just like you are. I just don't like none of that. And I don't like when people don't know how to do their work, and I'm doing the work of multiple people. So if I'm going to do that, let me do the work in the way I want to do it. And plus, these children needed me, because I'm going to tell you right now, these parents, these little raggedy, these parents, they seem to think that, okay, I'm gonna have this kid or whatever, and then I'm gonna rely on that provider, that teacher, that educator to raise, not just educate them, but raise them. And it does not work like that, right? And so I hate the term that parents use, well, they'll just learn it when they get to school. They will not. It needs to start at home first. And then it needs to be just like you co-parent, okay, we're gonna co-educate. So then it needs to be you and that educator working together, getting to know that child. Some parents, I'm gonna be honest with y'all don't even know your damn kids. I know more about your kids than you do. And that's ridiculous. But that is the truth, because think about it. They're with me more than they're with you.
Right. Okay. But I'm just like 5 minutes in. I don't think we've been 5 minutes. And yet and still, y'all heard Eric was the first one and he ain't cursed. And cursing is his first language. And my two lady guests, just off the bat, they just with the language. So
I'm just saying, I'm just gonna keep it real. And sidebar, nobody can hear me right now. My children are within sound. It has to be sight and sound. They're within sound. Just like I just heard Mr. Francois just open that bathroom door and bang it up against the wall. Yeah, I can hear them. So no one can hear me. We play Kenny G at nap time.
Yeah, they do.
I'm good. Okay. So, so I hate the term they'll learn it when they get to school, because it's like this. You have the teacher the educator who loves to educate, and then you have the educator who's waiting for a paycheck. Right. So the one who's waiting for that paycheck, they're not going to take as much time as per se I would do, because that's just what I do. I love what I do. And I want to get to the end of it, get to the root of what the issue situation is with the child so we can work forward. But there are some times you just can't get to the root of nothing because of that parent. And I'm not going to deal with the bullshit. I don't have time for it. If I wanted to do that, I would go in the office and let somebody tell me what to do. So if I'm trying all that I can do and documenting, and sometimes having a witness, then you're out. Like I can't do it. I am getting too old to be worried about $1. Yes, we need money, but I'd rather have my peace and my daycare than some bull with the parent and their child. That's you true. Will get put out. And I will not feel bad, because if I exhausted all my resources, it's nothing else I can do. And if you don't want to work with me, y'all can leave. No love lost, but just go.
Right.
Because that's time I'm taking away from my kids that are here, that want to learn.
Yeah. So she's big on education. She has an early childhood, was it development or early, what's it called? What's the cert, Sean?
Mm-hmm.
Development.
Yeah.
So these kids, like, I can tell you, child tax credit number 4, the one that opened the door she talking about, Francois is like, I love to learn, I love to this, that, and the other, but he can articulate himself. The thing I love about how Sean works with the kids is actually all my kids' daycare providers have talked to them, not like, just out the gate. Like even the little baby, she talked to them like, look here, like it's not no baby talk. It's none of that. It's really, all right, tell me how you feeling. When they get all in an uproar, when they arguing with each other, she's like, that's little people problems. That's not big people problems. And she gives them the skills to critically think very early on. So much so, sometimes me and Eric have to look at each other and be like, yo, we done got bamboozled and hoodwinked. And we be like, that darn Trishawn. And I will text her and be like, this boy done learned this from you. And now the logic is so sound at their level.
This logic is on point. Sometimes I just be like, I'm done. I'm gonna go put myself in timeout because I'm not dealing with this.
Right, you can't deal with it.
I just walk away and come back and revisit it.
So what about being an entrepreneur? Because you just like, look, I don't want nobody to tell me what to do. So like, tell me how you got to the point where you like, bump this, I'm gonna do my own thing.
Okay, so I always wanted to do childcare, right? As far as family daycare or center. But I don't know, like that fear word, you shouldn't be led my fear, but I'm just like, I backed up. I was like, I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if I want to do it. And then, you know, my husband wanted me to do it, but then it's like, others can want more than you. So if you can't, they cannot do it for you, right? Like you tell a child, well, if you don't want it, I can't want it for you. So it was just like that fear thing. So got my degree and everything. Excuse me, got my degree and everything. And then I was working in an OBGYN office out Tyson's with them little uppity people. And I was just like, you know what? They're really getting on my nerves. So I came home, I had my son, and went back to work after I was on maternity leave for about, was it 3 months? And I was like, I'm done. Let's just go back home. Like they stirring up that don't make sense. Let's just go. So I went home and then kind of settled my ass a little bit. And then my husband was like, so what we gonna do? You know, like what you gonna do? You say you want to do this, let's roll. So sometimes I do need that push, but once I'm pushed, then I'm rolling. And so that's when I just started to, I was already thinking about it, but I was just like, can I do this? Can I do this? That fear again. But then I was like, I'm good. So once I did that and put my name out there and stuff like that in the neighborhood and everything, and it started rolling in, it's just, that's it. That was my comfort zone. That's where I needed, you know, to be, whether they're teeny tiny or I'm like done with them. Like we're done at 7, like, cause you talking about stuff, whatever. And that don't work for me. Do that. Like, so about 7, I'm done. Like, that's it.
What's the earliest you take them? What's the earliest you take them?
6 weeks. 6 weeks. Yeah.
Well, I've been there since 8.
6 weeks. Like literally he was 2 months and he will be going on 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's been with me. So he is something.
The whole time.
That child. Yeah.
And she's loved on him and she'll correct. The thing is, tell us the truth. What is the thing you can't, from the tiny tinies, what is the thing that we as parents do that pisses you off to no limit?
That pisses me off to no limit. Y'all let these, I gotta rephrase this because they gonna think I'm crazy. Y'all let these damn kids get away with stuff. You don't correct them. And the one thing that I hate, that you don't say it, but that parents say, oh, well, they didn't let me. They wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let you do what? Like, this person is 2 and you about 40. What they gonna tell you that they not gonna do? So little stuff like that just irritates me to no end because it doesn't make sense. And then when they do something, you're not correcting it. Now, I will joke. And Francois knows a lot more stuff than probably the average kids may know at that age. It's some stuff I won't encourage, I will introduce, but we on a different level. Right. It's family. I mean, I could talk about, you know, Freedom Friday stuff, but anyway. So, you know, so, but that's the thing. But like, I know, like Patrice and her husband, they keep it real, especially Eric. He keeps it real, and so it's not like if he goes home and he says, "Oh, did you know whatever?" Eric is not gonna flip out. He's gonna say what Patrice said. He got that from that damn Trishawn. That's all they're gonna say. And Patrice is right there laughing and stuff. But you know, I mean, stuff that he knows and heard of. He's gonna know it as he goes on. But anyway, you know, you just gotta, you know, here we are.
Yeah, you gotta know who you're dealing with. The other thing was
exactly.
She'll tell you when they early, put the kids down. Like, don't hold the baby.
Oh gosh. That's another thing. I'm not here for I'm a child care provider, early educator. I am not a nanny service. We gonna sit in your $600 swing rock and roll chair, and and the whole crisscross applesauce, walking around hurting my back. My breast is too heavy. I don't need anything else on my back. I'm not doing it. So I will say that in my contract it says 2 weeks. I may give you a little more, but this hooping and hollering, and I got to be held all day. I am not the provider. Understand what I'm saying? I am not the provider for you. I'm not dealing with it. I tried it. It messes up my whole daycare. I'm big on teaching, not doing it. And then when the kids complain, like Francois can speak, very clearly, and another young lady I have in my daycare, a child is saying, I don't want to hear that today. Oh my goodness, why is this baby crying? We can't hear the story. We can't. That's a problem. That is a problem. And parents coming in. So it's like, how's my child learning and this child screaming all day? It doesn't work. So please, I'm not telling you not to love on your kids, but you do not, they don't have to be attached like your breasts attached to your body. Like they don't.
That's true. That's true.
It's ridiculous. You can't go to the bathroom without somebody screaming.
Yeah.
That is crazy to me. And you have a room full of kids. They can see everybody. It just doesn't make sense to me. But if that's what you want to do with your child, just understand when family, friends, or even a provider or a center cannot deal with your child or they're not willing to. You cause that, not anyone else. That's you. Now, colic and something like that, that's a little different. But typically these days, what we have seen, me and fellow providers, in the last 10 years, children are crying more than we've ever had them at infancy. It's ridiculous.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we never know what's going on in the home unless you're close enough to that person. So sometimes I feel like it's more of a self-soothing for a parent, so they can feel wanted. That may be the case, not always the case, but you want to feel like wanted or needed, or like I don't know. Some people may be going through something and need to feel that. Like I said, we don't know everybody's personal business.
That's true.
But there again, you cannot get frustrated when somebody doesn't want to care for your child, as far as like family and friends.
Just coming in, knocking up doors.
Because I know personally me, I don't want to take care of nobody's child, help them out, and they're going to sit there and cry all day on my weekend. I'm not doing it.
Right, right.
And so if you created that, you can't get mad if someone doesn't want to help you. You deal with it because that's what you created.
That's true.
But whether or not I did childcare or not during the week, I'm still not dealing with that.
Right. Now, Trishawn does a fabulous job with autistic kids. She's had several different autistic children come in her daycare. And I have seen from the time, like when they first come and they're trying to get adapted, to when they go out and they're ready to go to school, they're like totally different kids. Like I can think of a couple and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And when you see them talk and they, you know what I'm saying, where at home their parents were like, they're nonverbal, you see them actually interact, you see them with the other kids like they would if they were in general population at a school, right? So not necessarily outsourced from any way. They don't treat anybody any different. Like the kids are just their kids. And she has an awesome gift with tapping into and holding them accountable and giving them a right to express themselves. How did you learn to be able to do that? Because I'm like you're saying, more and more, like you and I've had this conversation already. Like I'm seeing more and more, especially little Black boys that are autistic. And I'm like, Sean, what's going on? Like, and how do you get them to act right when they say, when they're, you know what I'm saying? You get them to do things that they're, for all of the kids that the parents can't get them to do. How did you get to that point where you tapped into that? Was it always a gift? Is it something that you've had since you were a little kid? Like how did you get there?
Well, when I had my first child that came into my daycare that was autistic, someone referred, well, actually, it wasn't autistic. I'm gonna say autistic/speech.
Okay.
So my first kid I had, it was with speech. And she was stubborn. She was one to be reckoned with. So someone who is very good with her, like a family member, like you and I, they were going to accept her. But then they were like, you know what? No, I have someone that's closer to you all. I'm gonna call her and see if she has space. She was something to be reckoned with. However, I was just like, I'm not gonna do it. Like I was just kind of as stubborn as she was. And then she just like stopped, and her mother was like, how in the world? I was like, because I'm not gonna do that. This is the rule. You can either not do it and have a consequence, will be redirected or time out, or you can do it and come along with everyone else. So that's what it was for me. And that's just how it is with them. Now, my first autistic child, I had an idea something was going on. We thought it was just speech, and it just kept waking me up at night. And I was like, something is bugging me. It's not right. It's not right. So I was talking to my husband. I said, this is eating up at me. So let me call my resource center, bring them in. And within 15 minutes, I got a look and I was like, am I on point? They were like, yes. And then we went from there and we built. And I had talked to the parents as well. They thought it was just speech. But I was like, it's more than that. I can feel it. I know it. And then we worked together, all of us, resource center, the parents and myself, and we got everything handled. Speech came in. I mean, everything was going on. And this young man is very successful in the 9th grade.
Aww.
Honor roll. It's so good to see them. And we still keep in touch. And I had him, I believe, at 2 months.
Okay.
And he will be 15 in 2 months.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's just that I didn't treat them any different. And the kids, especially my child, Sean at the time, he didn't like when kids would kind of like mimic him and things like that. He was like, don't you dare mimic him. Like he wouldn't let anyone make fun of the situation. He was very protective. And that's what I love about my kids. And so going forward, I don't know. I just that one we had last year. He would do stuff at home. He just didn't do here. Very smart, knew everything. But I just don't budge. I'm just like, if I'm talking to a friend or anybody, okay, that's what you want to do. It's not going to go down like that. This is what you don't want to do it. You can have a seat here. You can sit there. And we keep it going. So I don't feed into the tantrum stuff. I'll just honestly say to them, are you finished? All right, let me know when you're done because I'm getting ready to go. We're going to go do this. And it just seems to work when I use that. Now, if I feed into it, like you need to cut it out. Why are you acting like that? Oh my goodness. Like if they can see I'm getting irritated, it doesn't work. But if I say what I say and I walk away, I don't know. That just works for me and the kids I've had.
Yeah.
And I don't treat them any differently. You're going to take your shoes off. For me, you have to attempt and then I will help. But just to be like, can't take this off. I'm not doing that. No.
Yeah. No, they learn independence very early. They grasp stuff really early. They're all of them little, I'm telling you, these some little rugrat thugs. Y'all understand?
My kids are not thugs.
They're
just street smart.
They really interested. They comprehend really, really well. Mm-hmm. They will side eye you, mean mug you, and like if you saw them in the street corner, you might want to hold your keys. Just because.
Don't talk about my crew.
Just because.
Don't talk about my crew.
They love music. They gonna have a good party.
Yes, they do. Mm-hmm.
They will.
I think they will. I'll dance anybody at the kitty cabaret.
They will. There's a kitty cabaret, and they gonna let it loose. They gonna give you everything they got. And then I love the fact that your entire family is an extension for them. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, you know what I'm saying? And you give them, as they mature, they get more responsibility. Like you can answer, you can go here, make sure everybody is taken care of, help each other. That's one of the things I definitely like when somebody, hey, help such and such wash their hands, help such and such give a towel. Like they work together. And like the older ones, you'd be like, look, make sure, hey, somebody knocked at the door. Okay, pull the shade up, look out, don't do anything. And it's, hey, if you were at home, these are the things you do not do. Understand you don't do these things because you have to be protected. And you always teach them to be aware of their surroundings. Whether they're in the house, whether people are comfortable, whether it's people they know, if anybody do anything to them, even if it's somebody they know, like it's a safe place because they'll come. Y'all need to understand, y'all, let me tell you, these kids will go and tell their child care providers what's really going on at home if something's not right, if they are in a comfortable space. And the beauty of it is, if something is off, I do know that the way Sean handles it, she was like, so I need to talk to you. Such and such said this. Is this okay? What does this mean? Is this something I should be aware of? And it truly is a partnership. She said it like it's a relationship. She'll tell you in a minute, I'll take y'all parents and I can throw y'all.
Yeah, I don't. Y'all can drop your kid off and go.
Drop
I
your
don't.
kid
I'm
off
not
and
here for you. I'm
but
here for these kids. I'm not here for the parents.
but if
It's
something
about the
happened with the
children.
parent, I mean with the kid, like she just described, something is off, something's not right, and we need to work this out together if they're going to be in this space. And that's really what you want, because y'all know it's like we've seen stuff on the news, we've seen stuff in our area where, you know, kids have gotten killed, kids gotten burned, child care provider, you know what I'm saying, is smut, like all that stuff unnecessarily, when we as parents need to stop being so busy and really pay attention to them at 7 and below. Like she'll stress, look, they're telling you something. And I need y'all to listen to what they're saying to you.
Because there's been several times you said, and Francois said, and I was like, and I know that I said, no, he is correct. You didn't listen to what he's saying. Like most of the time, like y'all would say, y'all got him like 97% of the time, but sometimes he may throw a curveball and y'all think he's just being Francois, just goof on. But I'm like, no, that's what happened. And you'll be like, what? And I'll be like, no, he's telling the story just like it happened. It sounds crazy, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to. It's like, I don't know.
Like
I said, I do what I do.
Yeah, it has encouraged me to listen.
There. Yeah, because he will. Now, this is why we're saying this, because Francois is the kid that, I'll give you an example. We're sitting downstairs in the basement. It was my husband, my son, I think it was Alyssa, my daughter, and we're sitting in the basement. So we're just talking, waiting for Patrice to come. And he goes on and he will tell these stories like, and when I was in the bathroom, my mom came and the sea monster came out. And so we know Francois is making this up. But then he said, when we went to the beach and I had the pink bucket. Now, don't get me wrong. Pink is a color. But I know damn well he wouldn't have no pink bucket. Pink is a color, okay? But he wouldn't have had a pink bucket, okay? So don't get your panties in a bunch with that, okay?
Right.
Please. So anyway, and so I'm like, the beach might be true, but the pink bucket is not. So as he's talking, this is what I'm saying out loud to my family. So they are laughing and I'm like, I'm serious. So then he said, so then when we came home and then we went to the tub and then my mom was in there, he said the sea monster came out again. And then we went downstairs and we went in the basement to the fish tank and the 2 fish died and da. So let me tell y'all, the only thing that was true about that story was the fish tank.
Correct.
But Francois will have you believing like he actually went to a beach.
Correct.
And he did not, but that's how great he is with stories.
He is.
So, I mean, you know, I don't know. It's just certain stuff like that I love. I love that about him because he's so creative and his imagination will go. But you have to know when it's true and when it's false.
Right.
So
you do.
That pink bucket was straight false.
No, it was false. And going to the beach.
Yeah. And he didn't go to the beach. Right, because that's what we were talking about. Going on vacation.
But all of them,
we gotta get out of here.
They had like you have like some of the girls have been excellent at math. Like it's you cultivate the things you see in them. Like when Little Miss had everybody doing TikToks, but I swear she needed to tutor me in TikToks. Yeah, because I didn't know how to do something. She was like, "Oh, just give me the iPad. Okay, you press this. You want it on 15 or 30." I was like, "Girl, you always do this. Teach me because I'm lost." So yeah, she still does it, but she's busier now. But she does a couple here and there. But yeah, her thing is math, and I love the way she would take 2 dice if she was teaching someone who was going to pre-K how to do math. So it was a game for everybody to roll the dice. Let's run. Stop. I'm gonna roll the dice, but she's the one who can use the dry erase marker because she didn't dot up my carpet. So if the dice 5 and 3, okay, so 5 plus 3 equals what? So if they couldn't get it just with the numerals, they could get it, which she would actually make the dice and the dots. So then they could count and come up with the answer. And I was like, okay. So for her, now how I would use that to help me in my business while I'm prepping lunch. She's doing that with them, which we're still learning. And I'm listening to her with the numbers. And sometimes if she counting too fast, I'll be like, I think you need to do that again, but we're all on the same floor.
Let's be clear on that.
Right.
Because I have everything down here on the same floor as well.
Right.
But I could hear her, but they're occupied and not having to sit and wait for lunch to be prepared because our little people like to move.
Right.
So once you see they can do certain things, it's fun and games with them, but what they don't know, they're helping you to go to the next, moment of the day,
Right.
or transitioning to the next thing. Yeah.
Since we're talking about the
that.
layout of your day, because you have everything scheduled, what is a typical day at TFDC look like? What does it look like for?
So it can be like I greet the parents, or like I don't, because they get on my nerves, certain ones. I do greet them.
Yes, you do.
But Patrice is a whole nother greet. So I mean, whoever's watching this podcast, don't get mad. I mean,
it is what it is. I've been around for a minute.
I mean, you can't be Patrice. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, no, seriously though. So you come in and greet. I have some like new parents that are coming in. They're very great. They are, just like some of them parents you want to clone, man. It's just like they are awesome. Attitude. They follow directions. Some think highly of themselves and everything. Okay, I can't tell you how to think about yourself. But anyway, and then you have people like Patrice. You can't be Patrice. I'm so sorry, y'all. Y'all just cannot be Patrice. I'm so sorry. And I'm not trying to be funny, but you just can't. So anyway, we're doing before you come in, most of the people have masks. You have to have masks before you come in. I'm getting your temperature before you walk in. And then the parents are signing in, boom, boom, boom. Kids wash their hands. They are either taking off their items to put in the cubby, or I'm assisting them with them. Okay, wash our hands, and then they have free play. Okay, once everybody gets in, then we're gonna start our day, which consists of those who can write. We're gonna learn our handwriting, because that is a big thing. They really and truly, I feel, everyone has their own opinion, they should know that at least before they go to school. I mean, you have all these 30 some odd kids in a classroom. How do I know whose paper is who? And then some of them have the same name. Okay, so we'll do that. Pottying is in between that. We're doing our work. We're doing, our circle time area. We listen to children's music throughout the day. We are doing manipulatives together. We're talking about different things. Like this week, we're talking about dental hygiene and things like that. So I actually bring out physical items and show them, okay, and they can tell you, oh, that's the mouthwash. This is what you do with the floss. I have a cavity. I went to the dentist. So it's things like that. Everyone is in the circle time, even my 1-year-old. Mm-hmm. They're going to sit, whether I let them be in their pack and play to move around, or in a high chair, whatever. They're going to sit, they're going to listen, and they'll grasp some things. Eventually, you can tell. And then from there, we go to outside play. If weather is permitting, we'll go out and things like that. We read at least 5 books a day. We just have a lot of conversation, because my children, they converse very well.
They do.
I mean, and then sometimes you just have to put your ears on timeout, but it's just like the questions that they ask, you're like, wow, this is crazy. Yeah. And just the communication between the 2 older ones here, Francois and the other one, they're like a little old couple, a little old married couple. It is hilarious to watch them. But pretty much my day just consists of them coming in, making their own choices, what they want to play with. We're talking about our work. We're going over our work, letters, colors, shapes, and all that good stuff, singing songs. We're doing movements. We're prepping for lunch. Francois, like he brought in a book today, and he tells me, it has words in it and no humans. And I'm like, what do you mean no pictures? But to him, it's humans. He doesn't see people. So it's just a book of words, which is fine. So he's gonna, show his friends that after lunch. But it's just pretty much, it's a teacher instructed, student instructed day. Whatever that may be, whatever our themes are, we have themes every week. That's what it is. And if they feel like can we do something else? This is kind of boring. I don't want to do this, which is either with their friends or me. That's fine. We all get bored. I have no problem with that. I let them express themselves. They may not want to do, let me paint the 2. They may want to paint a picture of their friend. Okay, whatever. They're still painting. It doesn't matter to me. So that's what our day is. Student, instructor, talk. That's it.
Right.
Whatever that may be.
They do have nap time. They have quiet time. Yeah. They have snack time.
So we do all of that. And like the oldest ones, they'll put their stuff out. I normally have the plates and stuff out. They'll get it if they don't see it. Can you do this? Or I have hot food today. Can you warm that up? Trust me, if I'm warming something up and then I'm going to grab somebody else to do something else and they hear the beep in the microwave, I need my dish. I'm like, okay, please hold on a second. This is a smaller person. I'm getting it. So they will make you aware, like pretty much, can you hurry up? That's what they're telling me in a nice way. Okay, I got it. No problem.
They got their system. It's very
and the two older kids, they're folding up. Has he shown how he folds up a blanket?
He's tried to, because he's like,
I don't fold a blanket no more. He does it himself.
Because he helped me.
So he's getting
faster. Make the bed and help me do this, and I can help you do that. All the skill sets they have, I can say they bring them home. They do. Like they bring them home to try. Hey, I want to be a helper. I know this. We learned this song today. I know these letters. He can type his name now on the iPad. He recognizes the letters. He'll get everybody's phone and type his name and be like, look, now this is my phone. Like little things like that. But
they are done with friends.
But you see it sticking. They know their address. They know where they live at. They know what city and state.
Yeah. He was upset when no one, at one point when another little person couldn't say the city.
Yeah.
Where he lived. But he was like, so I'm the only one that lives there? And I was like, no, he just does not know how to say it at the moment. But it's two of you. But he was upset that he was the one person that lived in this city. And I was like, oh, that's not true.
Right.
Yeah. So he pays attention to little stuff. No one has ever said that to me in daycare but him.
They know their birthday. Yeah. When they leave to go into school, they all know how to write their name. They know their birth dates. They know they're aware of who their parents are. They know the city and state. It's quite a bit that they'll know when they leave. Of course, they know their letters and their numbers.
Right.
He can do some basic math. So all of it, like I said, for me, I think that like you said, that 101, that nurturing, because like you say, when they go in the classroom at schools, they'll be one of 28. They'll be one of 30.
Exactly.
And they have to have their own identity, and they are comfortable enough to have their identity. And she'll tell you, because my daughter don't like to read to save her life, but Trishawn had everybody, this girl's stubborn. She gonna sit here all day. She gonna do this, and she gonna work with it. Like you need to pay attention to it. And it's nice because when I go into the school system, I have that same type of relationship where it is a co-education, and it's not. It's not just on that educator. That's your responsibility to watch her and while I'm at work, or watch them while I'm at work, because it shouldn't be that way. Now, what aspect of the business can you not stand?
Accounting.
Y'all you see how she looked at me?
But I figured my problem out. No, seriously, we were just talking about that. I was ready to throw this Mac in the trash along with everything else that was on the desk. I figured it out.
Good.
I deleted everything. We're gonna redo it. Okay. It took me all of like 3 hours, but I did it.
But you
because I don't feel like waiting for the support because it's slow.
But
so I figured it out.
But she will ask questions. So this is the deal. She will ask questions, and she'll be
20 times the same question.
I'm about to say 20 times.
I don't care.
And she'll tell me, I don't care. And she'll be like, break it down for me. Make it make sense.
Like I'm 2. Yeah. Because like I don't understand those numbers and things like that. Like,
but can do coupon math like it's going out of style, which I don't get.
Coupon math don't
make no sense.
It does. I don't have time for this.
Right. And send me on coupon capers with my husband, and then we still jack stuff up.
The basic, all she had to do, real quick, all she had to do was take the 50-cent coupon that would double, right? $1. The Lunchables were $1. That means you're only gonna pay tax on it. Just give them the same amount of coupons of the Lunchables you purchased. What the hell is so hard about that? That's like Oh my God, Francois could have did it. He would have been counting 1, 2. Okay, how many Lunchables I have? Okay, here's 6 coupons.
Y'all, coupon math.
It's not that difficult.
It's overwhelming. Like how she feel about accounting is how I feel about. And I'd be like, don't send me to the store for anything else for y'all. Like if you need me to go pick up pizza or anything else for the kids, like if I
counted exactly. I knew they had 10, and I said, go ahead and get them. Here's 10 coupons. Okay. I didn't give her a 25-cent and a 50-cent. That's it. All she had to do was, here you go. She was freaking out, just like I do when she talked about tax stuff before it even got done.
I was sweating under my armpits.
For no reason. For no reason.
I was like, oh, they're gonna look at me, and I was like, okay, the security gonna come out the back.
Oh my God.
That's what it felt. I'm just like saying
it was a 50-cent Lunchable coupon.
Yeah, I'm like, they're gonna be like, no, this is a fraud. Like, I don't know, like how everybody feel about the IRS coming to get them. That's how I feel about coupon and coupon math. Cause I'm just like, oh, and I'm like, oh, she's tried to tutor me. Lord knows, just like I've tried to tutor her with this stuff, she'll be like, no, okay, nope. Wait a minute. And we have to sit down, and I'm like, okay, let's go through this. Let's go through this. Let's make it make sense. Let's put this together. Let's take these pieces. Let's understand it. And that just shows that everybody got their lane to be in, and you need your team of people that you can reach out to let you know what stuff is out. Because trust me, when Francois go to real school and
he's gonna be fine.
What he say, big boy school, and the teachers start asking questions, I'm gonna be like, I'm putting Sean down. This is who it is. Call this person first, and then call me. Like, don't, because I can't.
But you better let them know. Call me with no foolishness. Well, Francois,
please call her.
They're not gonna tell me no stuff about Francois that I know better. Well, he didn't. I'm gonna tell you just how this went. One or two ways. She either did something to him, or he's so frustrated because he have told you and you ignored him, then he popped. So they can't come to you with no food. Well, he didn't know he didn't. Because I know better.
I'm just gonna be, that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be like, who should they contact and just when something go wrong? First Trishawn, and then his mama, then his daddy. Or depending on what day it is, maybe his daddy. And then
but depending on what going on, they're gonna get the same response from me.
Facts.
Don't call me with that.
True.
Goodbye.
True.
Because I'm working. Because I'm working. Time. You already know.
But what about, but you get the accounting piece done. You do. It stresses you out. It be having you.
It does. Lord, I cannot.
But you've gotten better.
Perfect. Yeah, because I've learned the system and these people are slow. So I get impatient. That I do. I get stuff done, but I get impatient.
And you found a system but the key is you found a system that worked for you.
Yeah.
And you make sure, like, because you already know, because like I've had people reach out to me like, do you know what you can deduct as a daycare provider? Like I've had people come to me and I'm like, yeah, daycare have its own tweak and its rules. And and now when people come and ask me like about how to operate, like I get the accounting and the tax side. But when it comes to operation and how it should be, so any of these daycare providers, if y'all call me, I'm gonna tell you, I got the right person for you to go to get some mentor. And so this is who when y'all come on the YouTubes and look at the video, because this is who I'm gonna send you to if you ask me a question about the industry. Because I don't, and the truth is, I don't do her taxes because, right? But I do help and answer questions. Because I don't have no people to have, I tell people this. Some people, I would rather have the relationship unless everybody in the household is good, because I don't mess with people's household. Everybody in the household good with me doing it, cool, because I'm going to tell you right. But if she asks me a question, I'm going to answer it. And I'm going to tell her the truth, and I'm going to sit down with her, and I'm going to break it down, and I will help her solve it. But I'm not in her numbers like that. So anybody, if anybody else looking at it, like I don't know what nobody paid but me.
Exactly. So don't get your
right, because I don't want as a client, and I keep stuff very professional. So I respect her business. That is the one thing
that she does.
100% respect her business. When I'm functioning as the substitute, I function as the substitute. When I'm functioning as a parent, and we talk like that, I'll be like, well, who you talking to? Are you talking to me
Right. Yeah, she will say that.
Are you talking to me as Patrice, as your girl? Are you talking to me as the parent? Like, who are you talking to so I can answer the question accordingly? Because I respect her policies and her procedures. This is one thing I'm gonna tell y'all. She's on her A game. She got a handbook. She got stuff we gotta sign. We gotta re-up paperwork. She makes sure that stuff is in compliance because she's like, you're not gonna come in and mess with my business when I gotta comply with the county. Yeah, and she run it like a business. And so I always respect that. Late fees, whatever it is we're supposed to do is in the handbook. And so because she is an entrepreneur, I respect game recognized game, boss recognized boss, and I respect her for running her business like a business. And I don't take no advantage of that. And so more of us got to understand that. People out here running businesses and they need respect. I don't care how big, how little, how small you think it is. It's their operation and you have to follow their rules of engagement. And we have got to do a better job of respecting people's rules of engagement in their space. Or like you said, you can always take your business elsewhere. Or she can decide that she no longer wants your business. And that is up to her to make that decision. So any daycare providers that are out here listening to this podcast and you feel like, well, I got to do it because I got to have numbers and this is how we got to eat. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you're watching other people's kids and you deserve the respect as a child care provider to not be trampled on and us treat you any kind of way. If you're running your business like a business, make sure you check us
like a business would.
Like a child care center or anybody else would.
Because you're not going
in your home.
The stuff that has come my way, you wouldn't dare come out your mouth this way if you were at a center. You wouldn't. I bet your whole check on it. You would not. So don't try it because it's like, oh, it's just a home base. It's only this number of kids, but you chose this home base. The centers are still there. So like I always tell people, you may like what you see when you come here. You may like the contract, but you will always hear me talk. I always say this in my interviews. If you can't comply, then don't sign it. And I will let you go. And also too, just communicate, but don't just think because you are who you are, whoever that may be to yourself, that you just gonna can do whatever you want to. Like that's not gonna work. One thing I can say about Patrice, she's never done that. She may be running late. She will communicate, or she may be caught up doing something. And I can tell if I haven't heard from her by a certain time, she's either caught up on a call or she's caught up on a call where she has to be in front of her computer. And I know that already because she's been here forever. So I already know. And I'm running late, my bad, I was on okay, fine. But I know that. But I also know if I need something, she'll rearrange her schedule for me. I also know if I need something and she can do it, she's not going to throw that shit back up in my face. I do know that. So I would say as providers, get to know your parents or whatever, not be all up in some business you don't need to be in. But when you get to know your parents and you can build those special relationships with certain people, okay, then you all build a rapport and you kind of know each other. Like if I'm off, I don't say anything, I'm just going to go. She can stop me and say, something ain't right, this been bugging me. What's going on? I'll just keep going and just try to deal with it on my own, but she can sense that something's wrong. Very rare Patrice needs a hug, but one particular day I just knew she needed a hug. Like she was like, I don't know, which is weird. I was just like, what is going on? Let me just give you a hug. And that's all people need sometimes. So, don't take advantage of us. I mean, a lot of people do, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't do that. You should respect it. We have something to do. You should respect that because this is another thing that burns me up with parents too. I am going to take my vacation just like you're going to take your vacation. Right. I am going to close early just like you will leave work early, right? But if you don't want that, go to a center.
But they even have times when they have to do that and they let you know, you communicate. You communicate. I mean,
schools, it's teacher in-service day.
Right.
It's, whatever the case may be. So, and sometimes people do not have backup, but just because people have backup in the sense of subs can do stuff too. Subs don't stay like they're on payroll. They don't. Right. They just sub when they can. They may have things to do. So excuse me, don't get mad or take advantage. I am going to take my holiday.
Right.
Christmas is my holiday. I need to reset.
Lord.
I need to be around family, and that's it. It is what it is. I am going to take it, and I will make it known up front. I have 3 weeks to leave in my contract.
Yeah.
I never take 3 weeks consecutively. Right?
No.
Most of the time, I don't even take
it. Right. That's true. I get on you for that. I get on.
But Christmas, I'm out.
Oh, we already know. Y'all have no idea. It's like Charlie Brown's at the daycare. It is like everybody know.
I'm tapped out.
That's
going to be my 10 days. That's my thing. So it's like you have to understand that. But then, sometimes you get backlash or people saying stuff, well, I mean, we can't do this, we can't do that. It's mighty funny. You can do it when you want to. It's mighty funny. You can figure out at daycare, a schedule for your child or children when it's something you want to do. You can be here on time to pick up your child, to drop them off somewhere when it's a concert you want to go to. So give me that same respect.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, we as educators, family, I can only speak on family, we are with your child more than you are.
True.
Understand that.
True.
Understand that.
I appreciate it.
And if somebody, hold up, and then if somebody, that's just little things that irritate us as providers. We are still in the pandemic, whether whoever think we are or not. If we're having people come to the door, right? Don't have your child walk down the walkway, the steps when you see another parent down there. You're being rude. If it's too cold, sit in your car because you see the car outside when you pull up, the other people are down here. I don't want to hear, oh, my son did it. If we have a doorbell, whether it's a ring or hardwired or whatever it is, we hear it the first time, but you also got to keep in mind, we're dealing with other children, so you don't know what's going on. Do not allow your child to keep ringing our doorbells like we're deaf. We're not.
That's true.
Show some respect. If we say, please do not allow your child on the playground that's on our property, do not. Not, oh, they went away. Because if a car is coming, you're going to make sure the car doesn't hit them if you can. Right. So treat it the same way. If we ask you to close our gate that we paid for to kind of help protect your kids or what have you, make sure it's closed so the wind just don't take it off the hinges.
True.
Okay, the gate did not cost $5.99 on the blue light special at Kmart. We paid money for our gates, okay, and the doors. All right, and don't get offended when we do not want you to park in our driveway because maybe some of y'all need to walk, or you don't know that your oil is leaking in your car and you don't have a power washer to get it off my sink.
That's good. Yeah. Because it's still your property.
And don't play in my mulch. And don't have your kids touch the stuff that I put in my yard. I'm just saying, these are things you should respect. Because when we go on walks, the pet peeve of mine, I do not let my daycare kids walk on people's grass. I think that is just disrespectful. People pay a lot of money to keep their yard looking nice. Now, some people may not, and that's fine, but that's their yard. It's their property. Just, you have to be respectful of that. Yeah. And, be mindful too. People have cameras. It's a lot of homes that have cameras. So what you say that you're not doing, we will see on the camera. FYI.
Yeah.
Just be respectful. Be respectful of our time, our space, other parents, and our property. That's all. I don't think it's that difficult, to ask. And if it is, you can always go to a center.
You still want to follow their rules. Well, I know that I appreciate your time, that you took time out, even when the kids were doing their activities and they taking their nap time. Thank you for taking the time because I've been harassing for weeks. And
I know. I was
trying to get a cheat code and all this kind of stuff. Like, what is it going to be? I'm not telling nobody what I'm going to ask.
You didn't tell Eric either?
No, I didn't tell Eric. No.
He had to watch his mouth. I got to say, did you have to watch your mouth on that?
He did. He was sitting here looking, and it was weird because he was sitting right next to me. But no, I didn't. No, I'm not telling anybody. I want to have my whole podcast is called Talks with the Tax Cop. And the whole point is I want to show people in different industries that I know that are doing their thing as entrepreneurs and recognize what y'all do and show that even though it's a different industry, everybody dealing with and want the same things. We out here, like small business is key to America, right? And a lot of people don't see who we are. And so I don't have to have a huge platform, but I know a lot of great people that are in my network that can provide some awesome services. And I want to put y'all on and show people, look, we have a lot in common and people need to pay attention to this. People ask me weird questions all the time, you know what I'm saying? As a tax provider. And I'm like,
all right, what's weird, Patrice?
I have people ask me some of the oddest things. And what it does for me is it allows me to pause, because I'm not going to answer a question. It allows me to pause. Right? No, it does, because I get to hear the origin story of how people ended up in the space that they're in, right? What people want to gain from being an entrepreneur, what they do from being an entrepreneur. And then it allows me to show my audience that you can do this too. Like you said, you said that you started out saying I was fearful, but sometimes I got to be pushed into where I'm supposed to be. And when I got there, I thrived in my space.
It's just, I think we don't know that. The center, right? My fear, I think, with the center, because it's not like I need somebody's degree, and I think my fear is you can't see my vision, because what's for me is for me, right? It's my vision. Right. We talked about that,
right?
But it's when centers, it is a high turnover, right? I don't desire a center with 120, 60 kids. I never did. 60 would be my max, because I still want that close-knit feeling of like family, childcare, how I think it should be. So this generation, they don't understand work ethic at all. They just, it's a joke. Look, when you go on these stores, they don't want to try. I was in H&M, and the guy said, he may have been for Virginia or somewhere, I'm not sure. And he was like, how much is the tax in Maryland? You talking to the cashier. He goes, I don't know.
Right. I
was like, maybe I don't come across their mind, but this wasn't no 16-year-old child. This child had to be like 22, 23. You never looked at a receipt? Just if you didn't, you never looked at a receipt.
Yeah.
You can get up on this phone for any stupid thing in the world, but you can't. Like, come on. Yeah. So like when I can ask her stuff, I'll be like, the same way you get on that Instagram, like for instance, looking at your grades. How many times you tap that Instagram? Have that and tap that student or parent view and look at your grade.
Yep.
Like, come on. So I just stood there like, you got to be kidding me. And nobody else right there said, oh no, it's such and such. They just stood there. Right, and I was like, Lord help me. So
anybody asking is 6% of Maryland.
6%. I was like, 6%. I'm like, dude, you.
And that's important though, but you hitting on stuff because we have to know certain things. You have to.
You don't want to take the extra initiative to help somebody out, to get something done. Like I told you, I had that appointment. I need it done on Monday. Oh, they were called into a meeting. I don't care. But I mean, we have a relationship. I can talk to you. Right. I don't care. I need you to figure it out because I need to be seen Monday, not any other day. I'm off. I don't have to worry about nobody covering. That's when I need to be seen.
Right.
Okay, I'll call you back in 10 minutes. I got my appointment on Monday at 9.
Right.
I'm not, no.
It's the small things. You're right.
So I don't know.
The workforce is different.
Ethic, they just don't appreciate, they don't understand how important that is, because if you freak up something in my daycare, they're not going to say, oh, Patrice was a mess. They're going to say, Miss Shawn, daycare is foul. No, it's not. So I think that is my fear. That's my fear. It shouldn't stop me, but that's the fear of it.
I got you.
Because I know I got the people that's going to be like, Trishawn, I know I have you on my for this. And my husband is very versed in numbers and understanding and stuff like that. And I got that in organizing and, don't think I'm crazy. I forget what you call that list, but whatever we preparing for this year for next year,
right?
As far as equipment stuff, that I cannot figure the name of it. So he's very good at running a building or whatever. He's good at that. But then let me do my thing in the classroom or talk to the staff and think, So I got that, but then I don't know. Then you get this stupid thing in your head. And I don't know if any of y'all out there well, I don't want nobody running my business. I don't want them telling me what I need to do in my business. But like you said, as well as my husband has said, in a business, I don't care how big it is, what it is, you have people that are good at what they do.
Yep.
So Patrice does not do all 10 things that need to be done in the business. Patrice can do the taxes. He can do the numbers. I can do the styling. So he was like, that's how business runs. One person is not responsible for everything.
And the vision still stay yours, as the vision still stay yours.
I don't see that. As I'm getting older, I see that. But you know, for me to even comprehend before I block you out, well, I think it should be like this because I know how to do this. I never said you didn't. So when you come to me like that, I'm going to shut down.
You shut down. You do shut down.
I'm done. All right, you know what? All you do it yourself.
You shut down.
Like, not saying that's the best attitude, but it's a way that you approach certain people. Now, if you have, let's say, for instance, you say that to Mike, y'all still gonna have a general conversation. You say that to me, you're gonna piss me off, and I'm just like this.
You're gonna tap out.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's just what it is. It's like growth. You know, you can recognize it as you get older.
Oh.
I am on a podcast.
I know we're on a podcast. I'm getting ready to close out the podcast, Sean. You got stuff to do. I got to figure out what he needs. I got to go do some stuff. I guess I am going to go. I gotta go pick up some cookies and pick up a child and then come pick up the other child.
Cookies. Oh yeah, I gotta do that.
You got a cookie order?
Hey man, no, I gotta ask him to give us some cookies.
Oh, okay. All right, so she's talking. I'm thanking y'all for being on. Thank you so much. This podcast.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Anybody else that listens to it, y'all, Trishawn Family Daycare. I will put the web address in the comments and all this kind of stuff. If you know anybody, if you got any questions, y'all like, wait a minute, I need to ask somebody who's in the industry. That way y'all can reach out to her. Thank you for your time. Y'all have no idea. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you being on my podcast, and I'll see you in a couple hours.
All right, bye.
Bye.